There's a reason people who seem carefree look like they're winning at life. They move through their day without the constant pressure that most of us carry around. It might seem like luck or privilege from the outside, but it's actually something simpler and within everyone's reach. When you obsess over everything, you drain yourself without even realizing it. Maybe you're worried about what your coworker said in passing or stressing over a text someone hasn't replied to yet. These thoughts stack up until your mind feels like a crowded room filled with things you can't control. Before you know it, life feels overwhelming, heavy, and exhausting. But here's the surprising truth most people miss. Happiness doesn't come from caring more. It comes from caring less about the noise around you. Notice I didn't say caring less about your goals or caring less about yourself. I'm talking about cutting loose all the tiny distractions, the unnecessary emotional burdens, and all those little battles you pick without even realizing it. Look, life is already complicated enough. Every single day throws new challenges your way, things you must face whether you want to or not. So why willingly add extra stress by clinging to trivial things that, deep down, don't actually matter? Think about the last time you got really upset about something small. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, or your friend canceled plans last minute. You spent minutes, hours, even days letting that frustration simmer inside of you. You replay the scenario in your head, wasting precious energy on something you couldn't change or control. Here's the brutal truth that we all eventually have to face. Most things that consume our thoughts aren't worth a fraction of the energy we give them. The quicker you realize that, the freer, and yes, happier, you become. I'm not suggesting you become completely indifferent or detached from everything. Instead, I'm suggesting you get selective. Reserve your energy for things that genuinely matter, your growth, your peace, and your well-being. Allowing yourself to let go of trivial frustrations and unnecessary worries creates space for the things you actually enjoy, love, and value. Ask yourself, is your mental peace less important than winning an argument online? Is your inner calm worth sacrificing to stress over someone's opinion about you? Deep down, you know the answer. So, starting today, promise yourself this. You're no longer going to be a sponge soaking up every negative vibe around you. You're no longer the person who reacts to every minor inconvenience as if the world is ending. Remember, the moment you genuinely stop caring about what doesn't matter, you give yourself permission to finally start caring deeply about what does. This isn't just a nice thought, it's your new way of life. Once you start practicing this selective care, you'll quickly notice how life changes. Not because the world around you suddenly becomes kinder or easier, but because your response to it fundamentally shifts. You see, when you're no longer tied down by minor annoyances and needless worries, you regain something incredibly precious: your freedom. Not just physical freedom, but mental and emotional freedom. The kind that clears up space for happiness, creativity, and genuine fulfillment. Imagine going about your day without that background anxiety about how people see you or how things should go. You interact more authentically, laugh easier, and generally feel lighter. Situations that previously would have knocked you down barely touch you now because you're no longer invested in them. That's the magic of letting go. The less mental baggage you carry, the easier it is to move forward and actually enjoy your journey. Think about someone you've admired who always seems calm and composed, even when facing tough situations. You might assume they're naturally gifted with an easygoing personality, but in reality, they've just mastered the art of focusing their energy on what truly deserves their attention. They're selective with their battles because they understand an essential truth. Not every confrontation is worth the cost of your inner peace. Now, I know what you might be thinking. If I stop caring about these little things, won't people walk all over me? Quite the opposite, actually. When you're secure enough to dismiss trivial things, you radiate a kind of quiet strength that's immediately noticeable. You set clear boundaries naturally, and people quickly learn what to expect from you. You become someone others respect, not because you constantly demand it, but precisely because you don't chase validation. It's ironic, isn't it? The less you chase approval, the more effortlessly it comes to you. People naturally gravitate toward those who seem self-assured and relaxed, who aren't bogged down by every little comment or mishap. Suddenly, you're not just happier, you're also attracting the kind of relationships and opportunities that genuinely resonate with who you are. This isn't about being passive or indifferent, it's about understanding the power of being selective about where you put your attention. When you master this, You stop reacting impulsively to every little provocation and instead respond thoughtfully, calmly, and confidently. You become someone who isn't easily disturbed by the noise around you, and that's when real happiness starts to set in. Think of your emotional energy as currency. Every time you care deeply about something trivial, you're spending that valuable resource unwisely. Soon enough, your emotional wallet is empty, and you've got nothing left for the things that truly matter: your family, passions, dreams, and yourself. But when you become selective, you spend your emotional currency wisely. You invest in meaningful relationships, creative endeavors, and your personal growth. Instead of feeling drained, you feel energized, purposeful, and profoundly satisfied. Remember, happiness is not something you chase or beg for. It's something you create by learning to let go of what doesn't serve you. As you start incorporating this mindset into your daily routine, you'll notice a gradual but undeniable shift, not just in your emotional state, but in the quality of your interactions and your overall outlook on life. At first, it might feel a little strange, even uncomfortable. After all, we're conditioned from childhood to care deeply about what others think, to stress over every detail, and to chase perfection relentlessly. But as you begin to consciously step back from this habit, something powerful happens. You realize how much of your daily tension was completely unnecessary. Consider this example from everyday life. You receive a text message from a friend or colleague, and it's short, maybe even blunt. Previously, your mind might have immediately jumped to conclusions. Are they angry? Did I do something wrong? Maybe they don't like me anymore. Now, equipped with this newfound perspective, you pause and think clearly. Instead of spiraling into overthinking, you accept the simplest explanation. Maybe they're just busy. You reply calmly and move on with your day, unaffected by imagined drama. This subtle yet profound change begins to ripple through every area of your life. Meetings at work feel lighter because you no longer take every critique personally. Interactions with family become smoother because you're not quick to react defensively. Even your relationship with yourself transforms as you stop constantly questioning your worth or obsessing over minor mistakes. You begin to embrace imperfection, understanding it's an inevitable part of growth, not something to fear. Here, let me be clear. This isn't about ignoring genuine problems or becoming emotionally numb. It's about recognizing that most situations we label as problems are simply stories our minds create out of insecurity or habit. When you deliberately step back from these narratives, you're able to see situations for what they truly are, often neutral and rarely as dramatic as your mind makes them out to be. As you gain clarity, your energy naturally shifts toward things that genuinely matter: passions you've neglected, goals you've postponed, relationships that deeply nourish you. You rediscover the joy in simple pleasures, like spending time outdoors, reading a good book, or sharing laughter with someone close to you, because your mind isn't preoccupied with unnecessary worry. The beauty of this practice is its self-reinforcing nature. Each time you consciously choose not to give importance to trivial stressors, you strengthen your ability to stay centered in future situations. It's like building a muscle. Over time, the skill becomes second nature, and before you know it, people around you start noticing this quiet, confident ease you carry yourself with, wondering what changed. In fact, don't be surprised if others begin seeking your advice on how to remain calm and composed under pressure. They'll wonder how you manage to keep a level head when everyone else is panicking. You'll become a guiding example, not because you preach detachment, but simply because your actions speak louder than words ever could. Once you start experiencing this shift, you'll naturally find yourself wanting to protect this newfound peace. But here's the thing: life doesn't pause its demands simply because you found a calmer mindset. Inevitably, you'll face days when stress comes knocking again, testing your resolve. However, this is precisely when the power of your practice reveals itself most clearly. Imagine you're driving, running late to an appointment, and suddenly you're stuck behind someone who's apparently decided that today is a great day for a leisurely cruise in the fast lane. Previously, frustration would have flooded your system. Your pulse would race, your breath would shorten, and anger might bubble to the surface, perhaps even prompting some colorful language or honking. But now, armed with your new understanding, you instinctively pause. Instead of letting anger hijack your morning, you gently remind yourself, this moment isn't significant enough to rob me of my peace. You breathe deeply and consciously let it go. The relief you feel when you consciously choose peace over tension becomes empowering. And this isn't limited to trivial irritations. It's equally effective when navigating more significant challenges. Perhaps someone at work misunderstands your intentions and reacts negatively, accusing you unfairly. Your old self might have rushed to justify or defend your position vehemently, escalating tensions. But now you see it differently. You're no longer responsible for managing others' perceptions of you, only your response to them. You calmly clarify your perspective without needing their immediate validation. Surprisingly, this approach often resolves misunderstandings far quicker and with less stress than reactive defenses ever could. And as you integrate these habits into your life, something else remarkable occurs. You'll notice your relationships deepening and becoming more authentic. Without the pressure of constant anxiety or overthinking, you're more present and genuinely attentive. Friends and loved ones will sense this shift. They might not pinpoint exactly what's changed, but they'll feel more comfortable and relaxed around you, enhancing the connection. Realistically, though, mastering this skill doesn't happen overnight, nor is it about suppressing genuine emotions. True peace isn't about numbing yourself to life's ups and downs. It's about feeling what arises, but deciding not to remain tangled within it. It's perfectly natural and healthy to feel frustrated, upset, or anxious at times. The difference now is that these emotions pass through without permanently anchoring themselves in your mind. Let's talk honestly. You're going to slip up sometimes. You might still react impulsively out of habit or frustration, and that's okay. Progress isn't linear. It's messy with ups and downs. The key is self-awareness, recognizing these moments without harsh self-judgment. Each time you notice you've reverted back to your old patterns, see it not as failure, but as evidence that you're paying attention. With each acknowledgement, you're reinforcing your commitment to living a more balanced, stress-free life. Think of it like training in a new sport or skill. At first, you're hyper-aware of every detail, every movement. Over time, however, these actions become fluid, effortless. Eventually, responding calmly in the face of stress becomes your natural state. You're no longer forcing yourself into relaxation, you're living it instinctively. As you grow more comfortable with this new mindset, you'll start noticing subtle yet powerful changes unfolding around you. Opportunities that previously seemed invisible now become obvious. Relationships that once drained you will naturally fade away, replaced by connections that lift you up and inspire genuine happiness. Without forcing anything, your life gently rearranges itself around your newfound inner calm and clarity. And here's the beautiful thing. It's not some mystical law of attraction at play here. It's simple psychology. When your mind is clear and your emotions steady, you're more attuned to the possibilities around you. You're more likely to see solutions rather than problems, opportunities instead of obstacles. You're tuned in to the frequency of what actually matters, making better decisions effortlessly. Picture yourself at a social gathering. Before, you might have spent most of your energy worrying about how you're perceived, anxiously replaying conversations in your head long after the night ended. But now, because you're comfortable in your own skin, conversations flow naturally. You laugh easily, listen intently, and express yourself without filtering every word through anxiety. Others sense your authenticity and are drawn to your genuine presence. Without even trying, you've become someone others admire for your ease, openness, and quiet confidence. This same principle applies in your professional life too. Imagine you're given a challenging task at work or school, something that would have previously caused stress, sleepless nights, or endless procrastination. Now, however, you're able to approach it calmly. You don't waste energy worrying about failure or criticism. You simply focus on doing the best you can, moment by moment. The result? You deliver high-quality work without feeling emotionally exhausted. Your colleagues or peers notice your steady performance and the ease with which you handle pressure, leading to new opportunities, recognition, and respect. But let's be clear, this isn't about perfection. There will always be days when stress, doubts, or anxiety try to creep back in. But now, equipped with greater self-awareness, you don't panic or spiral. You calmly recognize the discomfort and remind yourself that you have the power to choose your response. You don't allow temporary setbacks to define you because you understand deeply that happiness isn't the absence of stress, it's how you choose to respond to it. One of the most fulfilling realizations you'll encounter on this journey is recognizing how much energy you've reclaimed simply by letting go of unnecessary emotional burdens. You're no longer exhausted at the end of each day, emotionally drained from obsessing over every little detail. Instead, your mental and emotional energy becomes a renewable resource, allowing you to focus deeply on what truly matters to you: personal growth, meaningful relationships, creative passions, or even just the simple pleasure of enjoying life without constant worry. If this message resonated with you, drop a comment below and let me know. What's one thing you're ready to stop caring about today? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It genuinely helps more people discover the content. Until next time, protect your peace, keep it simple, and stay true to yourself.